Hello everyone. I decided to make my last recording of the day about Fallout 4. It seems to be a requested thing on this channel. That's fine, I'll certainly see what I can do. So in regards to that, I will talk about modding. I actually decided last night to see how modding works. I followed a guide by IGN, which I will link in the description, and it was actually a lot more complicated than some of the other games that I've modded, like Skyrim. Even after I did the IGN guide, I later learned that some of the mods at the Nexus require even more tinkering in the files. Um, I think it was Fallout Preferences or something like that. The ini file, I had to add an archive line to that just for one mod. So that does raise some concern because if there's a mod like that that requires an additional line of coding within the ini files, I can only imagine that there will be more mods like that. If that's the case, I'm kind of wondering if this will break Fallout 4 after a while. Because if there's so many mods that require additional lines, then at some point I'm thinking the game will be unstable. Now, in my test run last night, I only did, I think, 17 mods in total. Most of them were retexturing or increased graphics, such as 4K UHD power armor, 4K combat armor, 2K skies, 2K trees, and the list goes on. In the very brief test run I did notice a considerable drop in my frame rate. Normally I would be able to run Fallout 4 in Ultra at around 100 to 110 frames per second. After I'd loaded just those 17 mods, I was down to 50, 60. Pretty easily. There was a lot of stuttering going on from the amount of lag that was happening. So that's a bit concerning too. That tells me that if you really want to mod Fallout 4, you're going to need a decent computer, which I anticipated when I talked about the creation kit. My computer is a Core i5 4690K with a Sapphire Tri-X 290X R9 with UEFI update. So my card has been updated to run DirectX 12 is what that means. The Sapphire Tri-X 290X is still one of the fastest video cards on the market. So I'm pretty certain that the issue isn't so much the video card. I think it's just my CPU. I did notice that in the specs for the recommended on the Steam store page that you do need an i7, and I'm running a close to the top of the line i5, so it goes to show that you can't cut it with an i5. So the recommended specs seem to be correct in that regard. So these are some things to consider if you go forward with modding Fallout 4. Good luck with it, and thanks for listening.